Hey guys, it's your boy, Trigger Mayne. Sorry I didn't get a stream up yesterday or today. Fiance's out of town. I've been on dog dad duty, playoff hockey, blah, 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 blah. But there's just not been a lot going on. So I just haven't felt the need. Like, I'm like, what am I going to talk about for 2 hours? Bunch of people are going to tell me to look at a bunch of shitty tokens, and it just seems kind of like I'd be updating on a whole lot of nothing. But I got to keep my channel in that YouTube algo. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep the videos pumping out. So I will record this little video here. I'll upload this today. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow or something. But there's just not been a lot going on. So I haven't been killing myself trying to take a bunch of trades. We had doom and gloom on the timeline here, right? Doom and gloom. And then, the pump happens. Oh, we're back. Retrace. Oh my God, it's over. Pump, we're back. Oh my God, retrace, it's over. Pump, we're back. Like, it's just people are losing their minds and we're just trading at 60K. Like, Bitcoin is at 60K. All right? It's up fucking four times from the low. Right? And chilling. And people are losing their shit. Now, I think the more kind of pertinent question here, you like that fucking word, pertinent, is whether or not this structure here is distribution or if this is reaccumulation. So I'm of the mindset to not give a fuck about what it is. Okay? I would much rather find areas where we could potentially get a reaction, and then I would look to take trades there. I still believe we're in a bull market. Even if this ends up being distributive, this does not mean we're going to zero, right? But we could distribute. There is your expansion, right? Because how does price move, right? Expands, consolidates, expands. This is going to be a teachable moment here, motherfuckers, right? What does price do? It's only three things: up, sideways, and down, right? So the up is an uptrend. The down is a downtrend, right? And these are considered expansion. I'm not going to write it all out. That was a mistake. Expansion, right? Either expansion upwards or expansion downwards. And then the in-between, sideways, consolidation, is either going to be accumulation or distribution. Or it could be reaccumulation, redistribution. What do I mean by that? In an uptrend, once we start going sideways, price has two options here. The long orders that were made here that are pushing price up are either going to allow price to go sideways, accumulate or reaccumulate, okay, to then build up momentum for another expansion upwards, okay? And when the trend is going to reverse, how does it go from an uptrend to a downtrend? You get distribution. Right? You get distribution, and now price expands downward, and then it can go sideways here and then redistribute further down. So that's all it can do. It can go up, sideways, or down. And right now we've gone up. Now we're going sideways. Now the question is, are we going to go up again or are we going to go down again? Overall, I think this ends up here, let's say, right? Let's say this is 90K Bitcoin or something like that. I think price ends up here. We're doing this right now. The question is, are we going to go like this, okay? Or are we going to go like this, okay? That's basically all we're trying to figure out at this point. And people are going to lose their fucking minds over each little up and down. They're going to try and draw some stupid fucking schematic on here being like, look, this looks like this, and it did this last time, and this looks like this, and this looks like this. Well, you look fucking dumb. So, what does that mean? What does that say about you? It doesn't really matter, okay? At the end of the day, I think price resolves higher. So rather than trying to guess, and I talk about this in videos all the time, I think trying to do this whole thing where you're like, price is going to do this, and this, and this, and this. And then like, oh my God, it matched my squiggly. Well, unless you fucking shorted here or long down here and actually made money on this move, who cares if it matched up to your schematic? Now, I know people post these schematics and they do very well, and they post these fractal things and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I think for the majority of people, you're better off just trying to fucking trade as opposed to trying to look into some fucking crystal ball and try and determine the next 7 fucking directions price is going to go. Just try and figure out the next one and try and actually make money on it. So I see 2 potential shorter term scenarios here, and then a longer term scenario here. All 3 of them are longs, in my opinion. I do have one short idea, which I will share, but we're going to start on the long side because it's still a fucking bull market, baby. Now, I know you saw a fucking Donald tweet. It feels like the top of the cycle. I know you saw Ansem, right, tweet. You know, our sweet, sweet main character Ansem be like, old participants think it's over, and that's why it's not over. At the end of the day, right, who gives a fuck? Let's just try and make some money, right? I don't think it's over. I don't think the bull run is over, personally. Could we have topped for a while, and could we continue to go sideways and down for a while? Absolutely, right? But it doesn't mean that the bull run is over. I still think that we're going to make a new all-time high. But the question is it going to happen soon, or is it going to happen later? So short term, couple long ideas I'm watching here. One is, you know, this is the retrace here, right? So this is the up move, right? We deviated the low. If you longed here, I mean, you're still holding, right? But in reality, like, we need to break market structure here. You can see we came up, swept, rejected. So we need to break above these highs here if we're going to have a chance at going much higher. But we deviated. We're now retracing. So if you pull your fib, right, you know, we dipped in just below the 50. Maybe we have another dip a little lower, but that's kind of what I would be looking at here on the long side. I mean, if you think we're going up from here, your invalidation is this, and you're either longing this move right here, or maybe we get a sweep of this low, right? And then you want to take a long, right? So it's going to be like, you know, 3 kind of drives down, and then that's the low. But pretty clear invalidation there on the long side, okay? And then potentially a move up. And then my target would be into this supply, right? If we're going to go way higher, this is going to be an obstacle we have to break. And then obviously a daily close above this swing high would be ideal as well. But if you're a bull, this is kind of where you want to see the bulls step in, right? Maybe we dip a little lower than we already have. Maybe we take out this low and, you know, if we, like we swept here, maybe we get another sweep here, right? And maybe that's enough. And if we got an H12 sweep here, I would absolutely punt along on it, right? Because then I'd be able to have my stop there as opposed to all the way down here. But the general premise is, you know, this is what you want to see is the low. And then this is the retracement before a higher low, right? So if you're a bull, you know, we're kind of in the area where you want to be looking for a long. I'm not saying you need a long right here. Maybe it goes lower, maybe it doesn't, but this is kind of where you want to see the bulls step in. Now, alternatively, if this structure is distributive, right, it doesn't mean that we're distributing down to fucking 0 and it's the end of the cycle, but we could have another down leg, right? So maybe we get a little pop here, and then we actually end up taking out this low into this area here, okay? And if that happens, right, this would be distribution, right? This was distribution. There's your expansion to the downside. Maybe it bounces. It could go lower again, but I would be willing to take a long down here if we get another leg down there. I'm willing to take a stab down there because I think that should offer some support here. You have this 3-day order block there. So this is an area where if we do get another down leg, I would long. And also, this is another 10 to 15% below the current price, right? So anyone who is shorting, looking to distribute the positions, this is from the top to the bottom, that's a 30% down move. That's a plenty big down move in this type of a correction in a bull market. So I wouldn't say it's completely, I wouldn't say there's a ton of certainty right now in my analysis of which one's more likely. Like, is it more likely that this is the low and we're just going to go up, or that we get a move down here? But I'm willing to take a stab at both opportunities for sure, right? So where we're at right now, I don't love it, right? I don't love, yeah, we deviated and we bounced, right? But everyone was comparing, before this, when this move happened, what was everyone comparing it to? Back here, remember? They compared it to back here. They said, look, deviation, and then look what happened after. And I bet you've probably seen 5 different people copy this leg of price and plaster it over where we are today and say, fucking see? But the difference here, right, is after we had this deviation, what happened? It just started going up, okay? Went sideways for a bit, but we've now done this, and now we're kind of retesting here. So it's not really showing the same strength as this kind of, you know, V bottom. What the fuck is these circles? What is this? I don't like this. Who did this? And it's laggy. I hate this. Is this a trading view thing or is this a fucking, what is this? Oh, never mind. I figured it out. Shut up. Right? So you can see just kind of the difference here, right? V bottom, consolidated, ripped, V bottom, and it's kind of pulling back a little bit more. So it's not completely over, right? Again, when you long this setup, your validation was here. And if the result is going to be a ripper, who cares if your stop is loose if the target is new all-time highs? So I'm willing to look for a long here, right? Initially, I was considering taking a long on this sweep. I didn't do it. I think I was asleep or something. This happened early in the morning for me. I'm back in the shitty time zone. But it's basically retraced back there. So I don't have a setup here. I mean, you could long anywhere here, including a sweep of this with your stop here, and I think that that's a valid position. I really do. And the target would be all-time high, right? So shitty entry right there to all-time high should be 2R at least. Yeah, over 2R. So like this is valid to me. I would obviously like to have a tighter stop and a closer target initially. So if I'm going to get in this at this point, I'd be looking for maybe a sweep of this. If we get a sweep of that, okay, now I have a stop here, entry here, and now I don't have to target new all-time high. I can target resistance here, right? So the reason I like this shorter target, short of all-time high, right, is because I could see something like this. Oh, fuck you. I could see something like this playing out on the higher time frame, but we have weekly supply here, okay? And I know, oh, the box is huge. The box is huge, Mayne. How is that box so big? Then we can refine it down to kind of where it originated, right? So, you know, the daily, the 3-day, this is kind of the area that caused this last down leg, right? This is the order block. So if we were to get a move up here, I would be cognizant of this potentially being another lower high here. And if we got weakness here, I'd actually take a short there. And I'm not saying I would sell all my crypto, but maybe I would hedge some of my spot holdings, things like that, with a short position. Okay? So I'm looking for a move from here-ish to here. Okay? And if we lose this consolidation here and these lows, and we're going to break down, then the range I'm playing is down into here. Whether or not you want to short that, I don't know. That's up to you. But then from here, again, I'm looking to play this range. So if we do come down here, I'd be looking for longs here. If we do come up here, I'd be looking for potential shorts there, okay? That's kind of what I'm looking at it. Doesn't matter if this is distribution. Doesn't matter if it matches some fucking fractal. Doesn't matter if Bob is your uncle and fucking, you know, your aunt is named Cindy. None of it fucking matters. Just play level to level, play price. And right now, we don't have a lot of volatility. There's not a lot going on. People getting excited over very small moves. So you don't need to be in a trade. There's no reason to force anything right now, in my opinion. Now, we saw the Roaring Kitty guy come back, right? And fucking Roaring Kitty guy, GME, and GME went crazy. And then Memecoins went up a bunch, but then they all kind of closed really ugly. Like I shorted whiff on this move here because this is a weekly sweep, H12 sweep breaker, right? So that was the Roaring Kitty candle right there. And we'll see if this GME, effect has any staying power in crypto. Right now, it's looking like, not so much. A lot of those pumps kind of fully retraced here. Pepe's still looking actually quite strong. But the other ones, not nearly as much. So we'll have to wait and see. And again, there's some arguments around Memecoin super cycle, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I think the best thing for the market right now would be Bitcoin rallying and making a new all-time high. Bitcoin rallying and making a new all-time high is going to bring attention to crypto. It's going to bring new money into crypto, and then it can fucking funnel into all your other shit. But I do believe that there's kind of a hot ball of money going around with a lot of these meme coins and then these Solana coins. Someone posted like a crazy statistics about how many Solana coins had been created in the last couple of months. So there's like definitely a dilutionary effect there. But I think the best thing for the market is not WIF going to all-time high here. It's Bitcoin rallying, getting people excited about the market again, bringing that volatility, and then seeing that money flow into other shits, meme coins, whatever it may be. All right, so that's kind of my quick update on Bitcoin. I don't have a ton else to say. We're still watching the dollar here at resistance. I mean, unfortunately, the stock market, right, came into the zone I talked about. It's pushing for a new all-time high, and we're fucking at the range lows. So maybe we're going to get one of those instances where stocks do this, right, and rally, and then crypto looks like shit, and then all of a sudden it catches up. That would be the dream. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't stream. I just don't feel like I have a ton to update right now. But hopefully this is helpful to you. Yeah, fuck you. I'll talk to you later. Sign up to Breakout Prop, you sons of bitches. Sign up to Bybit. Use all my shit in the description, please. I've got a family to feed. His name's Order Block, and he's very hungry. All right, talk to you later.